Hey and welcome to the Daily Man United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Patrice Evra hopes Harry Maguire carries his England World Cup form to Manchester United. Manchester United icon Patrice Evra hopes England star Harry Maguire will be able to carry the form he has shown at the World Cup to the Red Devils. The former left-back believes the 29-year-old's performances are a boost for the club. Since last season, the centre-back has a tough time at the Old Trafford side. However, Gareth Southgate has kept faith in him. As a reward, the defender is thriving in Qatar. Speaking to Betfair, Evra, who spent 8 years at United, feels that Maguire is someone who performs better for his nation. He said, "I see many players who perform well for the club and they don't perform well for their country, but some players perform well for their country and they don't perform for their club. That's where Maguire is right now. This is good news for Man United, because when he goes back to United, I hope he has the same attitude, the same discipline, and to make sure when people talk, he thinks, I am a good player, I am a good centre-back, I know what I can do." The 29-year-old has lost his place in the Red Devils' starting lineup under Erik Ten Hag. After being involved in the first two fixtures of the season, the defender was dropped to the bench. Our losses to Brighton and Hove Albion and Brentford compelled the Dutch manager to make some changes. One of them was to replace our captain with Raphael Varane. The France international has formed a great partnership alongside Lisandro Martinez. While Maguire has not been favoured by Ten Hag, Southgate included him in England's 26-man World Cup squad. Subsequently, the former Leicester City star has been one of the three Lions' best players in Qatar. Hopefully, the 29-year-old can replicate the displays he has shown in Qatar upon his return to Manchester. Strength and depth is going to be key for us to challenge for titles and make it into the top 4 in the Premier League. Brazil star and Manchester United loanee Alex Telles set to miss the rest of the World Cup due to injury. Manchester United loanee Alex Telles is set to miss the rest of the World Cup for Brazil after picking up an injury against Cameroon, according to GE.Globo via transfer guru Fabrizio Romano on Twitter. Brazil took on Cameroon on Friday. Tite's team lost 1-0 against the African side in the final fixture of Group G at Lusail Stadium. Al Nassr star Vincent Aboubakar scored in stoppage time to hand Rigobert Song's team the victory. Telles started for Brazil against Cameroon. However, the left back could not last the full game and was substituted before the hour mark. Arsenal forward Gabriel Jesus will also miss the rest of the tournament in Qatar. The 29-year-old has not featured in any other fixtures for the Brazilian side at the World Cup. Tite's team had already booked their place in the knockout rounds after beating Serbia and Switzerland. They will face South Korea next. Telles is currently on loan at Sevilla from United. The Brazilian signed for the Red Devils in the summer of 2020 from FC Porto. With the arrival of Erik Ten Hag and Tyrell Malacia at the Old Trafford side, Telles has made a temporary move to Spain. At Sevilla, the Brazilian has enjoyed considerable opportunities. However, he will return to Manchester at the end of the season. It remains to be seen what the future holds for the 29-year-old. Eddie Howe to hold talks with the Newcastle United loanee Martin Dubravka about return from Manchester United. Newcastle United manager Eddie Howe is set to hold talks with Martin Dubravka about the prospect of returning early from his loan spell at Manchester United, according to Chronicle Live. The Red Devils signed the Slovakia international on a temporary deal from the Magpies in the recent transfer window. However, he has not featured a lot for the Old Trafford side. Thus, Howe is set to speak with the 33-year-old about the possibility of returning to tennis side in January. It remains to be seen how their conversation unfolds. David de Gea has been Erik Ten Hag's first choice in between the sticks. The Spaniard has been brilliant for the Red Devils since last season. He won the club's Players Player of the Year award at the end of the 21-22 campaign. The 32-year-old had a shaky start to life under the Dutch manager. However, he has managed to bounce back in fine fashion. The shot stopper has made some brilliant saves already this term. Dubravka signed for Newcastle in the winter window of 2018. He was the Magpies' first choice in between the sticks until the arrival of Nick Pope in the recent transfer window. Subsequently, he moved to Manchester. However, while some Man United fans may have expected the Slovak to feature more, he has only made one appearance for the Red Devils in the 4-2 win over Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. Even though the 33-year-old has not played in the Premier League or Europa League, more Carabao and FA Cup fixtures are set to be played after the World Cup break. The loanee will hope to get more game time then. Man United star David de Gea sends message to Erik Ten Hag amid contract uncertainty. Manchester United goalkeeper David de Gea has said that the team are moving in the right direction after adapting to the new playing style under manager Erik Ten Hag. Ten Hag is known for an expansive style of attractive football which involves playing out from the back, but the start of the current season was far from impressive. De Gea came under the radar for his goalkeeping mistakes, while doubts were also raised over his ability to adapt to the manager's tactics, which involves more passing. The 32-year-old looked uncomfortable in the early phase of the season, but has managed to redeem himself since with a number of standout displays for United. Speaking to ANI, De Gea said, "I think this year we want to dictate games and want the ball. We want to play from the back and press teams. Press high in the opposition half. We try to keep the ball in the opposition half, try to score goals and win games." The start of the season was a bit tough. After that, we started playing excellent football, winning games. We had a new manager and new players, so we needed a little time to know how the coach wants us to play, but I think we are going in the right direction when we are winning games and playing really well. De Gea has shown improvement with his distribution and mobility this term. In the past, he would be content to stay between the sticks, but there has been a notable difference under Ten Hag. De Gea is presently the highest earner at the club at £375,000 a week after Cristiano Ronaldo's exit. United have the option to prolong his stay for another season if they want to. However, they seem reluctant to trigger the clause as things stand. Ten Hag is expected to make the final decision depending on how the Spaniard performs in the coming months. De Gea is prepared to accept a 50% pay cut to sign a new long-term deal, and only time will tell whether his future lies. Erik Ten Hag wants contract talks with Marcus Rashford after the World Cup. Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag now wants contract talks with Marcus Rashford after the World Cup. Rashford's return to form has continued in Qatar, where he has 3 goals for England and is a joint top of the Golden Boot standings despite only starting 1 game. That will only make United even more keen to keep Rashford, who can speak to foreign clubs in January over a move as it stands. The Athletic report that United want Rashford's future sorted after the World Cup, with Ten Hag personally planning to speak to players with expiring contracts after the tournament ends. They report that talks with Rashford are at the top of Ten Hag's agenda for when United's players return to the fold and action after the World Cup. The report says that United need to decide whether they can agree a new contract between now and when the January window opens. If not, they will look to amicably activate the 12-month option in his current deal first, then negotiate after that with less time pressure. That might be a more sensible solution, but the bedrock to it all is Rashford feeling more confident and value it at United under the new manager. It remains to be seen whether Rashford starts for England against Senegal today, with Gareth Southgate having a host of wide options. Rashford is the most dangerous and in form of all of them, but his pace may also be more useful as a substitute once the game has opened up. The good news for United fans is that Rashford has continued to shine at a tournament where other Red Devils, including Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes, have done well too. That is a signal of the improvement made under Ten Hag, and it seems more likely than ever that Rashford would want to commit his future. Sunderland boss warns Manchester United that Amad Diallo is better off staying on loan. Sunderland manager Tony Mowbray has warned Manchester United that Amad would be better served staying at the club until the rest of the season. Amad began to hit form for the championship side in the final weeks before the international break. He also scored in a winter friendly for the Black Cats last week. getting to play regular football is helping the talented winger, giving him the opportunity for weekly playing time he has not really had in his career so far. The man reported last week that Manchester United would be considering recalls for loanee players. Sunderland boss Mowbray believes a move to recall Ahmad would be unhelpful for Ahmad and of course for his own side. He also said he has seen a real change in Ahmad in the past few weeks and suggested the winger is not in a hurry to return to Manchester United. He told the Northern Echo, "If he was to go back, then I am not sure he'd be going back to play, and surely at the age the boy is, he needs to play. He is doing that here, and I think this is a great vehicle for him to be showcasing his talent. He is helping our team to be successful, and he is showcasing his talent to Man United. I know he is enjoying it. You can see that by the smile on his face every day now, as opposite to a month ago when he was quite a shy, introverted individual. Now, his talent is flourishing and he's enjoying himself, and I am sure he is not in any rush to go back." Mowbray also referred to the emergence of Alejandro Garnacho as reason for United to keep Ahmad out on loan for now. United may simply want both. Ahmad would become a stand-in for Antony on the right, with Alejandro Garnacho and Jadon Sancho competing on the left. Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial would feature up front. Ahmad may look at what Erik Ten Hag has done with Garnacho and want to be a part of it, but only if the manager wants him. Facundo Pellistri spent the past 6 weeks as an unused substitute. If that was what was on offer for Ahmad, he would be better off staying with Sunderland. Cody Gakpo will decide the future after World Cup amid transfer speculation. PSV forward Cody Gakpo is said to decide on his future following the World Cup. The 23-year-old started his 4th consecutive World Cup match as Netherlands saw out a crucial 3-1 win to knock out the United States and secure their place in the quarter-finals. It was the first match of the tournament in which he did not get on the scoresheet after netting 3 times already. He, along with his teammates, will be preparing for their next test against Argentina next Friday, December 9, with a rampant Lionel Messi keen to seal his record-breaking honours collection with the lucrative trophy. Manchester United came close to agreeing a deal for Gakpo last summer before prioritizing the signing of Antony from Ajax. Months later, the Dutchman admitted it was a shame a transfer did not materialize. The Red Devils look set to reignite their pursuit of the prolific forward, who has 9 goals and 12 assists in 14 appearances at the club level this season, once the January window opens. Gakpo is putting transfers at the back of his mind, though, and told The Athletic he is focusing on the World Cup. He said, "I have to be honest, I am not thinking about that now. I am focused on the tournament and want to keep performing well to keep helping the team. Hopefully, when we become world champions, we can think about other things. I try to keep focused, and the other players don't really speak about that kind of thing." I will be uploading daily Man United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.